Hi everybody and welcome back to the Half-Ass Homestead. My name is Angie and today we're going to be doing the later May garden tour. A couple weeks ago I took you guys through a tour of my backyard. I might actually take you through a tour of the entire yard. We'll see how long that takes me. This is not really going to be a heavily edited video. I just plan on just showing you kind of what's going on. We are currently, I live in Zone 5A. We are in central Wisconsin and things have been changing at a rapid rate, so let's get into the tour. Today we're going to start at the back of the garden. This is something that I planted up after Empress Woo here. Put some hostas around my compost heap. Empress Woo will help hide this one a little bit. I might add a couple more of them. My coral bell that does really good came back. Bee balm. This, once everything's opened up right in here, looks so nice between the lungwort and the hosta. I'm pretty excited about that. We'll still be bleeding hearts and hostas. My 9 bark is getting close to blooming. It looks great. This thing was like 8 tiny stems when I bought it. She's beautiful. And she's growing in thick. Starting to eat hostas and baptisia. The grape that I planted is doing very well, this one anyhow. This is a fig tree, and then there's another grape back there that's not doing fantastic. Hi, Matt. And some flag iris. My sand cherry is just about done blooming. And this is what this garden is kind of looking like. A little bare yet, but I'm not so concerned. Over here, my cherry tree is finished up. My burning bush is going to flower. My Japanese maple, I do not believe was this full last week. And my cherries are starting to develop. They're still doing a little bit of flowering yet, but not much. And my grapevine is waking up nicely. My garden beds are still relatively empty. I've kind of been pulling some of the weeds out now and then. The only thing that I'm growing right now is dill. I'm just going to pull a bunch of that out, but it's growing well. The irrigation is hooked up and ready to rock and roll. And hostas are opening up under my cherry tree, which we'll show you that in a minute. Here is my little area between my beds. That is a grape that I planted last year, doing very well. And I planted this guy this year, also doing very well. Trudy. Trude. Okay, she doesn't care. Rhubarb is much larger now. My pagoda dogwood is doing its thing. I remember this thing was like 3 feet tall when I got it. Now I actually have to stand back to fit it in frame. Honey and tundraberry. My little flower bed here. Since I last talked to you guys, I planted this. This is it's a black-eyed Susan mix. It's called the rustic mix. And I also got a fern leaf bleeding heart. I didn't have one of these, so I felt I needed to have one. I also realized I have a bunch of Asiatic lilies back here and some sedum that should be moved, so I will probably go ahead and do that in the near future here. Irises are still doing iris things, and my variegated forsythia looks nice. So kind of come out and look at this. The star of the show right now, my gigantic tiny crabapple tree. And I got some new LED lights, solar lights. I have a hosta in the center that's struggling. It's the same as the other three, but it just doesn't seem to be doing so hot. Flamingo willow on point. The blue star looks like it's going to flower soon. My columbine are starting to go. All of my ajuga is pretty much heavily flowering. I've got a lot of weeds in here. I need to get weeding. Lots and lots of water weeds. There's my trumpet vine finally growing. I got a new set of patio furniture, cast iron bistro set. I'm pretty stoked about that. Anybody got any ideas? This is pretty deep shade right here. I need something to put here that's gonna live. Nothing seems to live in this corner. Literally nothing. So I'm really not sure what I should do with that. I'm thinking about planting some ferns there because I'd like to fill in this corner back here as well with ferns, because not a lot thrives there, and I think ferns could. My Jacob's ladder is flowering, which, if it wasn't for the awful backdrop, tell me that's not a beautiful vignette. Jeez, Lord. I love the basket with the vinca. I got that idea from my aunt, but the Jacob's ladder behind it looks nice. My mayaple's gonna be flowering. I need to figure out what I'm doing with this here hosta. It's been sitting in there for a couple years. And I picked up a snail concrete planter. I don't know about you, but I have a feeling like I have a natural urge to have all of the concrete animal items in my garden. That's just the kind of person that I am. So, I gotta figure out how to get out of here. I'm gonna show you guys around the side yard and the front yard, which can be, it's a lot of fun out there. My driveway is not literally the most beautiful thing, but I grow a lot of food out here still, so we'll take a look at this. And then there's some decoration on the other side, but this is kind of the ugly side for now. There's nothing planted in here. I went through and weeded these. These are all my 5-gallon pail planters. Then now I have some cannas in here. I put the bulbs in a couple, I don't know, a week or so ago. So the cannas are in. I just need to find a low filler and a faller. But my green stalk is starting to grow. I'm not really so sure why I planted dill over here. I was kind of stupid. But the beans and the kale and the lettuces are starting to take off. Cilantro and chamomile, and this side I must not have been rotating it evenly. We're giving it some sun now. And then this was kind of a dump it and leave it project that's turned out very, very well for me. This was not thought out. I bought a truckload of plants once, and this is where they went. Mostly a truckload of hostas. Okay, so, fun fact. This here, oh my god, where is it? Is this it? Is this the hosta I bought this week? Is that my yellow polka dot bikini? This is my yellow polka dot bikini. You better pull some of you away. We don't want you over here. I bought a new yellow polka dot bikini hosta. She's cute. I crammed it in. This entire hedge, all the hostas planted here, were little tiny starts from a gal. This is such an understated hosta, and I do not know who this is, but it is beautiful. I have a couple of them. But I bought each and every one of these hostas, and some of the ones in my gardens for $3. They're all an eye or two. Some of these are divisions off of the hostas that I bought. I just took most of it and left some of it here for other projects. But like, yes, even the sum and substance, $3. I got an eye or two out of it. But yes, these were all definitely very cheap. Oh, let's back up. This is where we get to the interesting stuff. Or maybe not really. This is starting to look really nice. Anyways, Lamium, favorite ground cover ever. I love it. Okay. I digress. And I know somebody will probably argue with me on that. Sedum. This fun fact is basically like a 1/2 inch deep here. And all the way down there, it's about 6 inches deep. So that's why increasingly they are more water loving than, yeah, okay, well, anyways, that's why succulents are down there. Right. So I've got all kinds of, these are not Stella de Oro daylilies. There's some sort of burgundy and I think there's a pink or something like that. Down there are all Stellas. But this was a happy accident. So the Bloody Crane's bill's going. So this geranium came with my house and I just kind of threw it in there. But the way it grows with this sedum is absolutely to die for. I love it. I just love it. It's beautiful. Anyhow, I don't know what the crap this stuff is, but it is awful and invasive and I've been trying to get rid of it and I still can't. So that's rough. I have some irises. This is the first year they're flowering here. We'll find out what color they are. My Stellas and milkweed finishing out the bottom of the driveway. Over here, I put this flower bed in 2 years ago, so this is its 3rd summer. I put it in the fall of 2021. I just have a few hostas in here, mostly because these spirea are going to grow out to where these blue hostas are, if not a little bit more. So I just kind of put some fillers in, and I just plant annuals back behind them for now to fill it in. So this year I have sunflowers, gladiolas, and I think that might be it. We'll find out if I'm wrong, but my spirea is gonna flower soon. I just love how spirea looks when it flowers. This is chive plant I got from my mother, and it was just a portion of it. This plant's I've probably had this thing for like a decade. So I've had her for a minute. I've moved it with me. I keep bringing it along. My walk to the one side is filled with multiple colors of daylilies and a trellis of wisteria. And I also have a couple of pagoda dogwoods along the driveway. They'll be like the ones in my backyard. So they'll grow with a very nice layered canopy. And then my limelight hydrangea front and center. I'm hardening off the last of my starts. And for the record, I did transplant these wisteria closer to the trellis. This guy is indeed alive. This guy might have died, which I'm not terribly worried because it'll probably come back from the roots, and if it doesn't, oh well. I'm not worried anymore. Alright, anyways. I have my bleeding hearts, and this has been kind of like a mess of a garden bed. The soil is in disrepair here, and I need to get in and pull everything out and amend it and give it a really good, I need to give it my best shot because this garden has not gotten my best shot, like at all. I'm kind of embarrassed to this flower garden, and the fact that it's in the front of my house is even worse. Also, my swing lays in the front of my house, which is not exactly ideal. My peonies are going to flower, and so are the irises. And I'm really praying to God I have some orange irises in here because I am going to flip if I don't. I think I might have accidentally sold them. Alright. Anyways, I got a clematis there. And a quick fire hydrangea. Well, this is turning out to be really long. This is probably one of my favorite hostas as well. That's Hosta Wolverine. Gorgeous. Pretty pink columbine. Next to some Jack in the Pulpit. This is kind of a hodgepodge. This was kind of a place where I just threw everything in when I bought my house. And here I kind of redid this. Got some hostas and some shrubs. Golden Vickery privet, which I'm not impressed by because it does not love it here. And then I have my Bernera. I think I need a few more ferns. They do good there. There's something about that corner of the house, I'll tell you. So that's the grand tour. My greenhouse for vegetables. Oh, I didn't give you the whole tour. Oh, what am I talking about? Got more plants. 0.17 acres. Managed to cram as much as humanly possible. Here's some daylilies and some hostas. A hosta. Okay. It's kind of a trash garden. A very sad dappled flamingo willow. And would you believe that this dappled flamingo willow is 2 years older than the flamingo willow in the back of the house? I bet you wouldn't believe it, but now you probably will have to because I told you it's true. And I have 3 pear trees. Because I really appreciate fruit. So, anyways, let me ask for your opinion on this. It's ugly. So none of my sidewalk chunks line up. Somebody told me that I should just plant hostas all along my house strip. Do you think that's a good idea? To help hide it, because I like to keep my sidewalk edged. But it looks like shit when I do because I have 3 chunks of my sidewalk that don't line up at all. Which is a long story behind that. But apparently if you have to pay for it, the city thinks you're stupid and should have to pay for it anyhow because it's your house and it doesn't matter how shoddy the work is, they don't care. So, no craftsmanship. But anyways, that's my mid-May tour. I don't know. I'm still thinking about, I still have half a mind to take some of my old videos or pictures and do a compilation of what it used to look like because it is insanely different and I can't believe it. I was just admiring how much work I've done in 5 years actually this morning. So anyways, I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in and I hope you guys enjoyed my little garden tour and I will see you guys in the next one.